half-assed Daily Decembear. My guest today is Rodrigo from Uruguay. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey guys, I'm Rodrigo from Uruguay. I'm 36 years old. I'm a musician. Also have like a regular job like anybody else, pay my bills, have a partner, and try to live life as happily as I can.
Well, I know the times we've met before, we've never talked about your music, and I learned about that after we became Facebook friends or whatever. So tell us about your music. What do you do? What do you play? Do you sing?
Well, I'm actually play mostly guitar, but I consider myself more of a producer slash musician. And the concept of musician is like you're able to play a little bit of each one of the instruments in each family, like strings and wind and percussion and such. And mostly when I'm composing and in the materials, with my own compositions, I'm mostly known for instrumental jazz. But as a producer, you have to be versatile with the double meaning of the word enough that you can cover pretty much any style. So other than Latin music, I'm known to also record and produce some metal stuff, rock and roll, pop, electronic. I also play with a DJ in San Diego for a while who would make some live sets with me on guitar, and he would just scratches and all those electronic stuff going on. So a little bit of everything when I'm the producer and you're paying for it. But when it comes to my stuff and the stuff that I love, it's mostly instrumental jazz.
So you don't just play in Uruguay, you play everywhere.
I've played in lots of different places. I played in the U.S. and Europe, it depends. But sometimes you just don't make it. So I also have a job, and in my job I have great people supporting me and my side career, so that I'm going on a tour a couple weeks, they would give me the time off without pay so that I can do it and such. So it's also you're working progressively towards doing the stuff that you love as much time as you can to support yourself like anybody else.
Right.
So it's like my side career. I've studied for it. I'm actually just finishing a master's in harmony, composition, and counterpoint that it's been draining all my free time the last 9 months. And I'm just a couple of ways from delivery. So, when I'm studying and whenever I, invest my energy and focus, it's mostly there.
Wow, you're really dedicated if you're going for a master's degree. So that explains why I haven't heard from you lately.
Yeah. Well, right now, and I'm taking a quote from a friend in New York, an Australian friend in New York, social media is like doing laundry. You just have to do it every other day at least. So, yeah, it's become a necessity. So, and mostly I post about music and stuff there anyway. So, all those banal stuff, hey, I'm here, I'm doing this and that, I'm not really good at. Even though at the beginning, as I was experiencing it, I got full into it. Right now, it became more of a necessity, and I see myself investing so much time there. It's like, no, I'm stressed, and trying to analyze why am I stressed, what's going on, and it's the overflow of information, that it turns out in a headache for everybody. This is a new era. We're all going to be a lot more overly informed per se. So. I wouldn't say it's stuff. At this moment, I just like to call it as if it was laundry.
Okay, that's that's fair. And it's something you don't have to do social media every day. So. If it's stressing you out, you don't have to deal with that. Well, so you told me earlier you were partnered. So how long have you all been together?
It's gonna be 4 years in April. So
and he lives there with you?
No, he lives in the U.S. So
okay.
There's a lot of traveling involved. So far, so good. But hey, it works for us. It's at this moment, it is what it is, and so we don't get in each other's way, and we love each other. And when the relationship is more about certainties than unknowns and expectations, it kind of works. It doesn't work for everybody, and I don't judge anybody for life choices, but for us, so far so good. The things that have to be clear are clear on both sides. So we've spent the holidays together each time since we met, and He's about to get here in a week or so.
Oh, okay. He's coming to visit you. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds great. Um, so I asked you about the marriage equality issue in Uruguay earlier that didn't get recorded. So do you want to talk about the situation there?
Um, Even before marriage, they decided to use the word marriage just to match the heterosexual couples. We used to have civil unions here that pretty much granted you 100% of the same rights as regular marriage was there. And for that, we can claim we were the first in South America. So before it officially, you could use the same license as marriage, you could get a civil union one. So it really didn't change a whole lot other than the media selling, stuff, with it, and a little bit more of a international noise because the word marriage is used. We had the law for civil unions like 5, 6 years ago anyway. So it didn't change a lot from the rights that you will have as a spouse. But it's good because I believe it generates consciousness, and worldwide, the momentum has to keep growing. And at the end of the day, it just doesn't matter who you're choosing to spend the rest of your life with. It's your choice. So I welcome it that way. Technically, Argentina was the first to have marriage with the word marriage, as is before us. But before they did that, they didn't have the civil unions like we did. So it's we always have this sort of competition with them anyway, but in social rights, Uruguay is pretty avant-garde. Has always been. We were the first country that allowed women to vote and such. So historically, right now, this last 2 or 3 governments have made a conscious effort and try to, at least from a social perspective, give as many liberties as possible to the people.
Well, that's great. Is there anything else you want to let all the viewers know about with you?
I don't know. I'm a gamer, with the little left time and it's recent. I mean, before you just used to play soccer online with my friends.
Right.
And you can find me there if you want on the PSN network as Rodman2211. And but now since the GTA Grand Theft Auto 5 game came out, is every night I have to be there. I joined a crew, an Argentinian crew, which is pretty badass. And it's a new culture. I bought the headset so that I can communicate with everybody, and it's a game changer. That game to me is the best ever in the history of playing any game at all. But the thing that it's shocking, and mostly I started by curiosity, saying, okay, how are the 12-year-olds and the 15-year-olds are going to be communicating with each other? And you see that it's pretty much through that game or similar. So it's a brand. It's if you really want to know what the next generation, ahead of us, I guess, or that it's going to come after us, how they're going to be communicating, what's their entertainment, you should really get in there and take a sneak peek. I'm also an entrepreneur. I've had a couple different businesses apart from my job and music, and as you can see, there's so many interests, and I get bored of myself all the time. So you can see that by my looks. If you enter any of my social profiles and such, you'll see very diverse looks. I'm never looking the same. I just get bored of myself pretty often. And with that said, I'm pretty a stable guy as well. The main interests and activities that I do are always there. So from there, I've been 4 years, with my partner. I've been 10 on a regular job. I've done music since pretty much 15 years old, but I'm always trying new things. So, I try to, again, I get bored pretty easily, like any creative guy does, and I make mistakes, but I'm kind of like the ones that say, hey, I'm sorry, I know I screwed up, and I generally stop getting along very well with people that get drunk often, just as they end up thinking about the turnoffs, and people that don't recognize when they're wrong, they don't say I'm sorry. It's stuff that I've been getting away from pretty quickly lately. I can, if you come back and then, admit you did something wrong and stuff, hey, I ain't no one to judge anybody for anything, but at least I don't waste my energy in stuff that has not a lot of people that don't say I'm sorry. I guess it probably happens that I'm a redeemer and I screw things up all the time, but it comes from doing stuff, and it comes from being creative too. So creative people generally make mistakes and they do stuff. So, and when you do, you're prone to mistakes. So that's why you have to be ready to say,
You have
"Hey, I'm
to,
sorry."
yeah, you have to
So
learn and grow
I'm
from it.
sorry if I'm offending anybody. I'm sorry.
So how should people get in touch with you if they like what they see on here?
Oh, well, you guys can check me out personally on my Facebook page. You can just type in the search box my name there. That it's Rodrigo Cotello. You'll see two things. You'll see my fan page for the music stuff. I know you see my personal profile. You can go to either. I'm pretty open about getting everybody in. And you can also go to my site, which is more just, where the music stuff happens, which is rodrigocotello.com, and that's RODRIGOCOTELO.com.
Very good.
I know we're all over the place already.
That's great. I'm gonna wrap this up. Is there any last words you wanna share?
Oh, I don't know. You can Google Uruguay about all the fun stuff that you can do here if you're coming over. I'm also one of my other interests is showing my city around. Mostly it's a give back activity since I've been blessed to have people show me around the most beautiful places all over the world. So if you're coming to Uruguay, just let me know. If I have the time, I love doing it, and show my place out. And right now, it's not only the marriage thing that has Uruguay the momentum. Every single magazine has as one of the top 10 destinations, for gay people. Also now with the legalization of pot, they're all over the place selling that, and it's not that easy as Amsterdam that you're just gonna go and buy it or get to a coffee shop. It'll eventually get there, but the law here is more, you have to be prescribed, and it's supposedly only sold to locals anyway. So I always get that all the time, even from my friends that I haven't caught up with for a while, say, "Oh my God, you legalized pot," and I started hearing from everybody at the same time about this. Like, yes, and our president, he gets all this press because he donates Mandela style, his salary, and now we also brought in some of the Guantanamo detainees that were not considered dangerous there. So you'll see all this stuff going on in the international press about Uruguay, which many of the things that makes us look great. Just have to live here to also see the other side, because not everything is great like anywhere else in the world. We have our pros and our cons. So if you're curious, you're visiting, catch up, let me know. If I do have the time, which I don't always do, I'm fairly good about saying no when I can't, so don't worry about that.
Okay.
But if I can, hey, I love showing my place around.
All right. That sounds great. So, Rodrigo Catella, thanks for joining us today. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to talk to Rod, send him an email or add his Facebook profile or whatever, and you can get in touch with him. And until tomorrow, there'll be another Daily Decembear. Thanks for
All
watching.
right, guys, have a good one.
Bye.